Hello everyone, myself Amrita Patil, lecturer of Computer Science Department, Arihant Education Foundation, Arihant Arts, Commerce and Science Junior College, Baudan, Pune. Today I am here to discuss about the topic networking technology. The contents which I am going to discuss in this lecture is the study of transmission media and the protocols used in the networking technology. Firstly, we'll go through the study of transmission media. The transmission media can be broadly classified into two groups, namely the bounded or guided media, and the second one is unbounded or wireless media. In bounded or guided media, we have three types of cables: twisted pair, coaxial cable, optical fiber. In the unbounded or wireless media, we have packet radio, microwave, and satellite media. So one by one we'll be studying in detail the types of transmission media. Bounded media means what? Media which is used for short distance communication by laying a wire or a cable. Hence it is called as the physical bounded media. Okay. The bounded media are also called as cable media. Okay. There are three types of cable media which are available for communication. In that, the first one is twisted pair. Okay, so what is twisted pair? How it looks? You can see in the diagram here below. The twisted pair looks like this. It is twisted into one another. The wires are twisted. These are pairs of wires were very common in local telephone communication and short distance computer network. Okay, so since the wires are close to each other, you can see they are twisted and they are very close to each other. So there is interference of one to other wire known as crosstalk. Because the wires are very close to each other, there is a lot of interference taking place, and that is known as crosstalk. Okay, so you can see this diagram over here of twisted pair. What are the advantages of twisted pair is this medium is inexpensive and easy to install. Okay, and since the wires are twisted, it reduces the EMI, that is electromagnetic interference, and also avoids the RF radiation. Okay, next advantages: twisted wires also reduce the crosstalk. Okay, next the disadvantages of twisted pair are they can be used only for short distance communication. Okay, long distance communication is not possible at all. So these are the disadvantages, and the twisted pair cable is available in UTP cable and STP cable. We'll be seeing the details of UTP cable and STP cable in the next slide. Here you can see the comparison is there. UTP cable and STP cable. The first comparison is consists of a number of twisted pairs with plastic jacket in UTP cable, and in STP you can see consists of a number of pairs but a shell, usually aluminium or polyester, between the jacket and pairs. Okay, so there's a shell which is made up of aluminium or polyester between the jacket and the pairs in STP cable. Next is inexpensive and easy to install UTP cable. Okay, it is inexpensive and hence easy to install. STP cable is expensive than UTP comparatively and difficult to install. The third one is bandwidth capacity ranges from 1 to 155 Mbps up to 100 meters, and in STP cable it ranges from 500 Mbps up to 100 meters. Okay, more attenuation and sensitive to EMI UTP cable, and in STP cable less attenuation and EMI is reduced to shielding. Okay, UTP cable is used in telephone system and STP cable is used in the LANs, that is local area network. Here next you can see the coaxial cable. This is again a type of bounded or guided media only. In coaxial cable, it is a special hollow cable with a solid copper or stranded wire at the center of the cable surrounded by plastic foam insulation. Okay, the foam is surrounded by wire, mesh jacket or metallic foil. Okay, it is a shielded cable. Okay, so coaxial cable diagram. You can see, sorry, the next slide. how it looks. So this is the coaxial cable diagram. Here you can see the copper core. Here the next layer is the insulating material. Next, third layer is the braided outer conductor, and the fourth layer is the protective plastic covering. So there are two types in coaxial cable. There is a thick net, that is thick, which is hard and expensive, and thin net is thin, flexible and inexpensive. Okay, so the next thing is advantages of using a coaxial cable. It is commonly used in network because available in different sizes. Okay, so its shielding provides better resistance to EMI, and attenuation is less than twisted pair cable. The attenuation interference problem was there in twisted pair cable, which is not present in coaxial cable, hence it's an advantage. The disadvantages can be it is relatively expensive but less than the fiber optic cable. Fiber optic cable we'll be seeing in the next slide. So this is one disadvantage, it's relatively expensive because the shieldings are more. And next is bandwidth capacity is comparatively less than fiber optic cable. So this is another disadvantage. So once again you can see the diagram of the coaxial cable. There is a copper core and insulating material. Third layer is braided outer conductor and protective plastic covering. The third type of media is optical fiber optic communication, which is a type of bounded or guided media. So they can carry much information at a time. Okay, so it provides widest bandwidth with data rate that is 100 Mbps to 2 gigabytes per second. So the bandwidth rate is very high and they are very small in size. Okay, it uses light source to extremely high frequency, and with a very high velocity it is the fastest communication with the maximum bandwidth. Okay, it uses the light source which is of the frequency 3 into 10 raised to 6 gigahertz. Okay, that's a extremely high frequency which is used, and hence it gives the fastest communication with maximum bandwidth. Okay, the signal can be transmitted over long distances with negligible attenuation. Okay, so they are prepared using fiber material like silica glass, silicon dioxide. They are electrically bad conductors and hence free from electrical interference and resulting in noiseless and shock proof communication. Okay, so this is the reason they can carry a lot of information because there's no electrical interference and the communication is noiseless and shock proof. Okay, so these are the points under fiber optic communication. So you can see the diagram over here, fiber optic cable. The fiber optic cable looks like this, and the core, this is the first layer, the core, and the second is a cladding over here and the outside jacket. Okay, what is cladding is it's a plastic or glass sheath, okay, that is fused to and surrounds the core. Okay, this is a plastic or glass sheath which is surrounding the core, okay, of an optical fiber. Okay, the claddings mirror like coating. This is a mirror like coating. What it does is it keeps the light waves reflected inside the core itself so that there is no loss of data. The next is unbounded or wireless media. In this media, the wireless media, radio waves in the very high frequency band which are not used for any other communication may be used for communication between the computers. So the first type of unbounded media is the packet radio. What is packet radio media communication is? It is a combined packet radio having both the transmitter and receiver with different frequencies. There's a transmitter and there's a receiver over there, and a packet radio is attached to each terminal and the computer. Okay, the information entered on a terminal is transmitted using the packet radio and received by the computer. Okay, information is processed and results are transmitted back to the terminal by the computer. So this is the diagram of the packet radio. There's a terminal and there's a computer, and the packet radio, the data is in this packet radio. Through radio waves, the packet radio transmits the information to the computer. Okay, and then the information is processed and results are transmitted back to the terminal from the computer. Here the information is processed, again it is sent back to the terminal. So this is the packet radio. Next is a microwave media. Microwave, actually this should be microwave media. There's a typo mistake. Microwave communication, media communication use waveguides and repeaters. Okay, it is extremely high frequency, about 100 gigahertz. They can also bend and pass obstacles like hills. Okay, so here this is the diagram of microwave communication media. Here there's a transmitting station and receiving station. Here you can see transmitting station A wants to transmit some data to receiving station D. So through B and C the data is going. The path is not straight. The waves can bend and pass towards the receiving station, and any obstacles like hills also they can pass. Okay, so this is one advantage of microwave media communication. So next you can see the third type is communications satellite media. Okay, so here the a satellite is an electronic communication system that orbits around the earth. Okay, as you all know, it orbits around the earth. It's a electronic communication system. Okay, the TV signals are sent from the tower on the earth to the satellite in the space. Okay, so the satellite amplifies these signals and retransmits them back to the earth. Okay, as soon as it catches the data, that's the signals, it amplifies those signals and then retransmits back to the earth. Okay, the in satellite communication the signal is in full duplex. The earth station and satellite both contain the transmitter and the receiver. The communication taking place is full duplex. Okay, both the sites are sending in and receiving the data, that is known as full duplex. Okay, here figure shows the basic use of communication satellite, where the stations on the earth are known as earth stations or ground stations, and satellite as a remote station. This is a satellite, this is a remote station, since it is in a remote area or space. These both are called as the earth stations or ground stations because they are located on the earth, on the ground, and this is a remote area as space. Okay, remote station. Okay, so you can see the transmission and receiving is taking place. The satellite is sending the waves. Okay, and the receiving station is receiving the signals. The operating steps are: an earth station transmits information to the satellite by using a carrier known as uplink frequency. So this earth station is transmitting some signals, that is uplink frequency, to the satellite. Okay, the satellite receives the uplink, it amplifies it. After receiving the data, after receiving the uplink frequency, this satellite, what it does is it amplifies that signal. Okay, the third step is the satellite transmits the amplified information signals by retransmitting it on another carrier frequency called as downlink frequency towards another earth station on the earth. Okay, after amplifying it will retransmit it on another carrier frequency. That carrier frequency is known as the downlink frequency. Okay, towards another earth station on the earth. Okay, so these are the steps that are taking place, which are used for the communication of through satellites. Okay, the next is protocols. Okay, so what are protocols? Basically these are the set of rules. Okay, set of rules or standard designs to enable computers to be connected to each other and transfer the information through a network. So there are a set of rules or standard designs which enable the computer to be connected to each other and transfer the information to each other. Okay, so when computers in different countries are to be connected together, then there must be different standards of different nations. Okay, when there are computers located in different countries, then if they are to be connected, then the protocols will be different, that is a set of rules will be different for different nations. Okay, then this will become very complex communication. Okay, so the problem can be solved by making common rules in to interconnect and communicate between the computers. Okay, so to make this complex communication easy, we will be having some common rules to interconnect and communicate between the computers which are located in different nations. Okay, these are known as the protocols. Okay, all the entities in the network must agree on these protocols. Whichever computers are connected to each other in different nations, then these all computers should agree on the protocols which are defined. Okay, then only the communication is possible. So in such a network, data is transmitted in the form of packets on the network. Okay, the packet contains a standard format. The format is decided by the type of protocols. Okay, the format of packet in a type of protocol specifies the following information, such as this is a packet. Okay, so what the packet contains is the header and the packet, the original data which has to be sent from one computer to another computer in the network, that is the particular data. And this, the third part, is the trailer. This whole three parts are called as the frame. Okay, what is header? Header is the start of the packet, but obvious, it specifies the source and the destination address. Okay, source is the computer terminal which is sending the data. Destination is the computer terminal address which wants the data. Okay, which is going to receive the data. Okay, that is header. Then message is the particular data. This part of packet contains actual data or information. Okay, that is to be transmitted. The information coding also decided by protocol standard, example data nibbles or in bytes. Okay, trailer means what? In this part of packet, ending information is transmitted. Okay, what is that ending information? Okay, that is the error checking and correction information. Sometimes there's a loss of packet, there is some no synchronization between the packets. That time the error checking and correction information is used. Okay, so these are the three parts, okay, of the frame: header, message and trailer. When this packet is transmitted, during the transmission, message may get damaged or loosed, okay, due to some serious reasons. For this purpose, this information is sent in the trailer packet part. As I told you, message if the data gets damaged, or if the packet gets damaged or loosed, or there's no synchronization, then the trailer part is used. Okay, there are different international standard protocols at different levels. Okay, so some of them are mentioned here: TCP IP, UDP, ARP, ICMP. That is, TCP is transmission control protocol or internet protocol. UDP is user datagram protocol. So these are two important protocols. You'll be having some brief information about this. Firstly, that is internet protocol. It is popularly known as TCP IP. Okay, this internet protocol does not belong to any one company, and the technology is available to everybody. Okay, next is TCP IP protocol. Uses three types of addresses for network addressing. Okay, the three types of addresses: the first one is hardware or physical address. It is used by the data link and physical layers. Okay, so next is internet protocol address, provides logical note identification. It is expressed in four parts dotted notation. You must have seen this type of address, IP address. It's called as, each and every computer is having its own IP address. For example, you can see 123.144.131.12 is the internet protocol address, IP address. Okay, the third type of address is logical node names, which an administrator can assign or are easier to remember than an IP address. Okay, so this is quite difficult to remember, but logical node names, for example barney.com, is very easy to remember, okay, than this IP address, which is four parts dotted notation. Okay, so these are the TCP IP protocol addresses for network addressing. Okay, so this was all about the networking technology where we studied about the study of transmission media and the protocols in brief. Okay, thanks for watching.